All right, welcome everyone. Today we're diving deep and unlocking the power of Google Analytics 4. We're going to go way beyond just looking at numbers. I'm talking about truly understanding your visitors, who they are, how they even found you, and what they're actually doing once they're on your site. So let's get right into it.
Okay, I want you to think about this for a second. Your website, it's not just some static digital brochure. Nope, it is talking to you constantly. It's giving you feedback, telling you a story about your audience. The real question, though, is, are you listening? Because trust me, the story it's telling, that's pure gold for your business.
So, to really get why this is such a game changer, it helps to just take a quick step back and see how far we've actually come. I mean, marketing has evolved like crazy. So let's do a quick comparison. The old school versus the new school.
And wow, the difference is it's night and day. Traditional marketing was just so expensive and honestly, super imprecise. It was like throwing something at a wall and hoping it stuck. You never really knew who you were reaching. But digital marketing, it's the complete opposite. It's cost-effective, you can get hyper-targeted, and, this is the big one, it's completely, totally measurable.
And that brings us to this fundamental truth in business. And this quote just nails it. If you can't measure it, you can't improve it. I mean, think about it. Without data, you're just guessing, right? Smart growth absolutely requires measurement. And that is precisely where a tool like Google Analytics 4 comes into play.
So let's officially introduce the star of our show today, Google Analytics 4, or GA4 for short. What is it? Well, it's Google's totally free service that basically acts as the ultimate listening device for your website. It tracks everything your users are doing and translates all that activity into insights you can actually use to make better decisions.
Okay, first things first. Let's tap into the here and now. We're going to dive straight into what's called the Realtime report, which is, well, it's pretty much your website's live pulse. You can feel what's happening this very moment.
And this answers one of the first questions pretty much every single website owner has. And honestly, it's one of the coolest things to see. Who is on my site right now? Who is interacting with my content this very second?
So, the real-time report gives you this incredible, immediate snapshot. You can see exactly how many people are active, where they are in the world, down to the city, which specific pages they're on, and even the events they're triggering, like clicks. It's dynamic, it's live, and it is absolutely fascinating to watch.
And look, this isn't some abstract concept. This number you're seeing, 267, that's from a real GA4 account. That means at one single moment, there were 267 active users online. You can literally sit there and watch your audience engage with your work in real time. How cool is that?
Okay, so we know people are on the site. That's awesome. But how do they even find it? The next logical step is to become a bit of a detective and trace their digital footprints to see exactly where they came from. And this is the million-dollar question, right? How did they find my website? This is what GA4's acquisition report is built to answer. Because understanding your traffic sources, that's the key to knowing which of your marketing efforts are paying off and which ones are, well, not. GA4 is great because it breaks down all your traffic into these really clear categories. So, organic search, that just means someone found you on a search engine like Google. Direct, that means they already knew who you were and typed your URL right into the browser. Referral is when they clicked a link from another website. You get the idea. Each one of these tells a totally different story about your brand's reach. But what if you want to get even more granular? Like, what if you want to know which exact link in your email newsletter drove the most traffic? Well, the secret to that level of detail is something called UTM parameters. I like to think of them as digital breadcrumbs. So you're probably asking, what the heck is a UTM? It's actually super simple. It's just a little snippet of text, a tag, that you add to the end of a URL. Your visitors won't notice a thing, but that little tag sends a ton of detailed information straight back to Google Analytics, telling you precisely where that click came from. And building one is surprisingly easy. You just have to define a few things. First, the source. Where's the traffic from? Say, Facebook. Then, the medium. What kind of link is it? Let's call it social. And finally, the campaign. What promotion is this for? Maybe summer_sale. By adding these simple tags to your links, you suddenly gain this incredible precision. You can track the performance of every single marketing effort. All right, so quick recap. We know who is here and we know how they found us. Now for the final and maybe most important piece of the puzzle, what are they actually doing once they get to our site? This is where we start digging into engagement.
Are they actually reading your stuff? Are they clicking around and exploring? Or are they taking one look and hitting the back button? The engagement report, that's where we find all the answers.
Now, what's really great about GA4 is that it shifts the focus to metrics that actually mean something. For example, engaged sessions. This is a huge improvement because it filters out all those useless instant bounces. Then there's average engagement time, which gives you a much clearer picture of how long people are actually paying attention to your content. And events. Events let you track all the specific actions that matter to your goals, like when someone plays a video or downloads a file.
I mean, look at this, an average engagement time of almost 6 minutes. That is fantastic. That is the kind of number that screams my content is valuable. It's sticky. It tells you you're holding people's attention, and let's be honest, that's the ultimate goal, isn't it?
And another thing that's awesome about GA4 is a feature called Enhanced Measurement. It basically makes tracking all these interactions easier than ever before. Right out of the box, without you having to do any complicated setup, it just automatically starts tracking key events. Things like when someone scrolls 90% of the way down a page, or clicks a link to an external site, or even watches one of your videos. It's all done for you.
So let's pull this all together. We've just walked through 3 core reports that, when you combine them, take you from just looking at a bunch of raw data to actually making smarter, informed decisions for your business.
Really, it all boils down to this simple story in 3 parts. The real-time report tells you who is here right now. The acquisition report explains how they got here. And the engagement report reveals what they're interested in. You put those 3 together and boom, you have the complete story of your audience.
And that brings us to the final question, which isn't really for me, it's for you. Once you have all this data, once you know who your audience is and what they really truly want, what's your next move? What are you going to do with that knowledge? Because remember, the power isn't just in having the data, it's in the action you take next.